This family went on their daily beach walk where their dogs love to take a swim, but they didn't expect something would go horribly wrong today. One of the dogs suddenly slipped below the surface and was about to drown. But thanks to the owner's quick response, the dog was saved at the very last moment. This squirrel was so stricken by heat stroke that it barely had any strength left in its body when suddenly a gracious man brought the squirrel some much needed water. Grateful for his kind gesture, he didn't want to leave the man's side.
Vegan now to save yourself.
With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace. Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/BMD.
Programele noastre oferă multe limbi. Vă puteți uita pe suprememastertv.com/schedule și suprememastertv.com/BMD.
Also, be sure to follow us on our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nico, Pinterest, Reddit, Substack, Telegram, Threads, TikTok, Truth Social, Tumblr, VK, and X, previously known as Twitter, in multiple languages by searching Supreme Master TV.
When, some people invaded the Virgin America long hundreds of years ago, many American Indian people want them not to destroy this place, not to develop that area, not to, ruin that mountain, because they say those areas are sacred. It was true like that. I know it on myself too. Because sometimes if a true master or a big saint, stayed there or continued to reside there or left already, the environmental deities, the local deities or nearby deities would come together, use their power to build a palace for worship, for loving, peaceful worship.
Please keep watching to find out more.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message entitled The Sacred Palace's Location, Part 2 of 3 on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on May 27th, 2024.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. She has been invited to lecture on the Kuan Yin method of meditation throughout the world. We now invite you to view Walk the Way of Love, an introduction to Supreme Master Ching Hai.
We'll search high and low for a little love to bestow on all beings in all corners of existence. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, as she has affectionately become known, lives a message that walks the way of love. A renowned humanitarian, artist, and spiritual visionary, her love and assistance has extended beyond all cultural and racial boundaries to people around the world. The needy and homeless, institutions of medical research, war veterans, the disadvantaged, the physically and mentally handicapped, refugees, and victims of natural disasters, etc. We witness countless reminders of the compassion, the trademark of this caring lady, and the international foundation that has grown out of her loving example.
Whatever we can share, begin with sharing. And then we will feel a subtle change in ourselves. More love will be pouring into our consciousness, and we will be aware of something. And that is the beginning. We are here to learn to grow, as well as to learn to use our power, our limitless power of love and creativity, in order to make a better world wherever we happen to be incarnated. Don't worry, I pray for you, okay, honey?
Not only are human beings the blessed beneficiaries of her kindness, animal people from different species are also the recipients of her boundless benevolence.
You okay, boy? You okay? Yeah, don't worry. Hey, look at you. Oh, quack. You happy? Quack. Hello, you grow so big now, you. Bon appetito. I love you. Good appetite. This is one of the reasons why we should be vegan. Love for all beings, extending love.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, was born in Central Olac, or Vietnam. During her early years, she was often found helping hospital patients, the needy, as well as injured animal people in whichever way she could. As a young adult, she moved to Europe to study and continued there as a translator for the Red Cross. She soon discovered that pain and suffering exist in all corners of the globe, and her search for the remedy to this became the foremost goal in her life. She was happily married at the time to a German doctor, and although it was an extremely difficult decision for both of them, her husband agreed to a separation. She then embarked on what became a 2-year-plus journey in search for spiritual understanding. Finally, in the deepest reaches of the Himalayas in India, she found an enlightened master who imparted to her the Kuan Yin method, a meditation method on the inner heavenly light and sound. After a period of practice, she became fully enlightened. Soon after her return from the Himalayas, at the earnest request of those around her, Supreme Master Ching Hai shared the Kuan Yin method with others, encouraging them to look within to find their own greatness. Through the Kuan Yin method of meditation, they also attained greater fulfillment, happiness, and peace. Before long, invitations arrived from the United States, etc.
I saw that I was everywhere and in every creature.
Europe.
To see God is very, very simple.
Asia.
All religions tell you, be a good person here and find heaven while you can.
Australia.
We are the sons and daughters of God. We are ourselves, the Supreme Master.
Africa.
I will show you how to get direct teaching.
And South America.
And keep the commandments and try to lead a more vegan life.
as well as from important organizations for Supreme Master Ching Hai to give lectures.
The peace and love that we most often talk about and seek, we have within ourselves. You must look inside and find your own treasure and find the real, lasting happiness. The future is in our hands. So you make it beautiful or you make it worse. It's up to you.
Supreme Master Ching Hai has realized many spontaneous talents that she expresses through artistic paintings and creations, music and poetry, and aesthetic jewelry and clothing designs, expressing the inner and outer beauty. The income generated from her artistic creations has enabled Supreme Master Ching Hai to create an independent source of funding for humanitarian activities in support of her noble mission of assisting God's children in their times of need. Although she does not seek acknowledgement of any kind, Supreme Master Ching Hai has been given awards worldwide by government officials and private organizations on numerous occasions. They include the World Peace Award, the World Spiritual Leadership Award, the Award for Promotion of Human Rights, the World Citizen Humanitarian Award, the Award for Outstanding Public Service to Mankind, the 2006 Goosey Peace Prize, the Los Angeles Music Week Certificate of Commendation, and first place silver for the 27th Annual Telly Awards 2006. In addition, October 25th and February 22nd have been proclaimed as the Supreme Master Ching Hai Day in the United States.
She also brings love around the world where there is hate. She brings hope where there is despair. And she brings understanding where there is misunderstanding. She is the light of a great person, an angel of mercy for all of us.
Agradecer a la Suprema Maestra su liderazgo, agradecerle su optimismo, agradecerle ese don de gente que tiene que la hace tan única y tan especial.
Una impresión muy grata de ver un corazón tan noble, tan dispuesto a servir. Ella está sirviendo a todos los seres humanos, está sirviendo al planeta para salvarlo, para rescatarlo. Tiene un corazón noble, pero también un gran liderazgo. Sé que van a suceder las cosas que tienen que suceder.
Supreme Master Ching Hai is one of the truly dedicated people of this era, helping others find and create a beautiful vision of our future. Many great people in history have had a dream, and in her own words, so does Supreme Master Ching Hai.
I dream that all the world will become peaceful. I dream that everyone becomes the Buddha. I dream that all the killing will stop. I dream that all the children will walk in peace and harmony. I dream that all the nations shake hands with each other, protect each other, and help each other. I dream that our beautiful planet will not be destroyed. It takes billions, trillions of years to produce this planet. And it's so beautiful, so wonderful. I dream that it will continue, but in peace, beauty, and love. Most places on the planet had something to offer, good or maybe bad. It depends on where you live and whom you have as neighbors
yes, or as a country at large. Some countries have a lot more spiritual outlets than other countries. The UK, for example, has more good spiritual outlets. But one of the neighbors of the UK had a very bad quarter before. It's better now, since the zealous demons king took up his new kingdom in the African mountains. And since the king of zealous ghosts also decided to lead a more virtuous, noble, and spiritual life. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. But everywhere you go, always be respectful. Bear in mind that God is everywhere. And saints and sages' energies are everywhere. And be reverent in your heart. Never look down upon anyone or any place, however barren or unfavorable it might look, because you never know. You never know what is in the air, what actually resides there, and what actually has been built there. Without psychic eyes, you cannot see. Okay, I hope I can remember to tell you about the king of zealous demons. Oh yeah, I have told you more or less a little bit that sometimes, they observe me over time, not just 1 day, 2 days. I myself did not know either. Like, for example, for a couple of days I was in the hospital. And there are some patients also near me. And because the hospital was so full, they had to sit in the corridor. I was also a patient myself, but I was more able. And so I went around asking if there was anything I could do for them, And then they asked me like, oh, I need more blankets. Please ask for me. Or my blanket fell down. Please cover me. I need some water. So I brought things to them, these small things. And also some old lady with garbage on top of her body, not like garbage, but things that are discarded, like her old dirty mask or something that she cannot throw away because she was tied onto the bed. She couldn't move out of the bed because they had all kinds of machines attached to her and IV on her arms and legs so she could move. And then I just keep helping her to throw away the garbage. Or bringing her water and helping her to drink. Little did anyone know, including myself, 'cause I didn't think too much about that. I was more on a higher heaven than on earth. These people I help, the patients who were helpless in their bed or just sitting in the chair, who I just help to cover with a blanket or tuck him or her in, because she couldn't do it himself or herself, or help her to find her handbag that she lost. Little did I know that they are the king of zealous demons, retinue or relatives and friends in human form. So of course they reported that to the king of the zealous demons. And he was very touched. And he said that I'm really genuine and very loving and kind. And slowly, bit by bit, with all this information reported to him, he decided that he just quit, quit working in the direction that is against my wish, against my will. So he just removed himself with his citizens altogether and went to the African mountains where no humans will ever set foot because it's so remote and so impossible to access. And I have invited him to go to a higher place like IFC, or between the 4th and 5th level, but he decided to stay here for now. Yes. He does help some wherever he can. He helped me in some situations as well. Yes, I'm also grateful to both of them. And I'm enjoying the love of the king of the zealous ghosts. And his citizens as well that they're sending me. Every day is very, very comfortable. I'm so happy beyond description. I cannot describe to you how happy I am. You just know I'm happy. That's it, happier than a couple of years ago when these things have not happened yet. And because of, these things, I also remembered that most places on earth would still have some saints and sages energy, or some living saints and sages, or, deities all over the place. So we must always have reverence for the earth, for the place where you live, the food that you eat, because all the deities and the fairies have duties, Some have the duty to help the vegetables to grow. Some have the duty to make rain. Some have the duty to make thunder. Some are bad, some are good. They are all good. These deities who are assigned by heavens to serve humankind and beings on this planet alone, just particularly this planet. We are so many. I can't tell you everything everywhere. You can't see them much anyway. These deities, they are good. They just have to do what they have to do. So some receive good assignments, like making gentle rain, making beautiful clouds for sunrise and sunset, making, all kinds of things, beautifying the world, taking care that the flowers grow well, taking care of the stream and that the water, is running plentifully for humans to use. But some deities have to dry the lands and make havoc, make droughts and floods and all that. It's not that they're happy to do it. They just have to. Our karma forces them to do all these unfavorable things, earthquakes and stuff like that. It's also a warning to humankind to be more, humble, more virtuous. But it's very difficult to go through humans' ears. Also because of obstruction from demons, devils, the king of Maya, retinues, ghosts and all that. So the more we can be removed from, demons and ghosts, the better for us, of course. So I'm happy that 2 big groups of these demons and these ghosts have removed themselves from obstructing us from reaching spiritual attainment. It's much easier than before now that we don't have them around to try deliberately to hinder us. I'm so grateful to God Almighty and all the masters for these phenomena, which are very rare and hard to encounter. I'm so grateful, so grateful. I prostrated to God for all those favorable things that have been happening to us. I truly am so grateful. Please, you thank God, thank all the masters as well for me, with me, yes? Whenever you remember, not just one day, not just today, not just at our meditation hour for gratitude, but every time. Don't forget, okay? Everywhere has something also for us to revere. That's why the indigenous peoples would normally produce some psychic, citizens who can see things. They can see which mountain has light, has deities, has reverence for God, or a shrine, or a palace that has been built to revere some or one of the masters, or some saints and sages who benefit humanity, who have passed by, lived there some days or sometimes. We can never be grateful enough. That's why when, some people invaded the Virgin America long hundreds of years ago, many American Indian people want them not to destroy this place, not to develop that area, not to ruin that mountain, because they say those areas are sacred. It was true like that. I know it on myself too. Because sometimes if a true master or a big saint, stayed there or continued to reside there or left already, the environmental deities, the local deities or nearby deities would come together, use their power to build a palace for worship, for a loving, peaceful worship. That's what they call it, okay? The exact words they put out like this: to build a loving, peaceful place of worship for those saints or sages or masters, which they know are a benefactor for the land and worthy of their reverence. I know that myself, because even as humble a being as I am, as I usually like to stay on islands. So sometimes I bought some islands, or sometimes I bought a piece of land for you to meditate. For example, like in New Land Ashram, we have a small island, but it is not small. In the spiritual dimension, it could be huge, very huge. So they even built, a palace there to worship Master Ching Hai. Yes. And it normally would be in the air around 9-10 meters above whatever existing surface, either ground or a roof of something, like a roof of a cave or roof of a house. If the master's not there, they will begin to build a palace with gold, diamonds, jewelries, that I quote the words of the reporting deity, that world has never seen before. Gold jewels that the world has never seen before. That's the quote of the report to me, yes, about some of my palaces that they built. Even some so-called island, which just, in a small lake. And it's a very small island, but they could also build a palace on top of it. After I left, it was about 9 meters above the ground. But that palace can also be moved higher or lower accordingly. Yeah. And it's about 70 meters high and 90 meters wide. And also round, like some kind of circumference. It's studded with gold and jewels that are exceptionally beautiful, and on earth, nothing can compare. It's a different kind of gold, different kind of jewels, It's not like the ones that we see, even though the ones we see on earth and wear are also beneficial. The more so if they are designed by heaven through a master or a great saint. Yes. The deities just do it, nobody asks them to. I never knew they did until later on, when something happened there. And then I would ask some local deity gods, why did such a thing happen? Then they would explain to me, because so-and-so person came to your island you inhabited before and disturbed the peace and construction of the offering deities. That is their words, not mine.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.
Peace is happening around our world.
Peace News number 21 of many and counting.
There are many countries promoting peace and fostering amity among peoples and governments. Etc.
October 2023.
The special envoy of the Chinese government, His Excellency Zhai Jun, is on a diplomatic mission in the Middle East that includes speaking to foreign ministers of various countries and seeking humanitarian aid for and a ceasefire in Gaza. By creating peace, we all can make a loving, serene, and prosperous world.
Those who want to know the truth of the universe should practice reverence for all life. Hua Wu Qing, Taoism.
Tomorrow on Between Master and Disciples.
These worshipping palaces help to naturally stabilize the surrounding, bless the atmosphere and all beings nearby. And by the way, one day while traveling, I wanted to rid myself of all the house keys, ashram keys or related, remote controls, etc. But heaven told me to keep them for the same beneficial purpose. So all the temples and the churches that we built are nothing of physical value compared to the palaces that the deities, the goddesses, have built for those masters. So it doesn't matter that when they leave, they have magnificent temples or not, they always have.
Gracious viewers, we thank you for your company for today's episode entitled The Sacred Palace's Location, Part 2 of 3 on Between Master and Disciples. Coming up next is Islamic Prayer and Ethical Living, Selections from the Hadith, Part 1 of 2 on Words of Wisdom, right after noteworthy news. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more constructive programming.
Being vegan, having peace, heaven Godspeed.